He has it even. Jerry Cantu and Fernando
one car is 95-95.
96-94. Both to the winner by majority decision. And still NABO champion Raimundo Sugar.
I wasn't really interested in this fight.
Stretch of 4 impressive knockout wins, including his
1
most
minute.
recent as a knockout of the year candidate. A tougher time for Ray Beltran, taking the distance and sneaking out with a majority decision win. Vasquez had success late. Beltran more consistent. Up to the ring to Bernardo.
Let's listen to the post-fight
you got
interview.
a chance to say hi to your kids here. Talk to me about how important it was for you to come in here and try to get that knockout because of the extraordinary athlete situation, and why it was so hard for you not to get it.
Well, you know what? My goal is to win. Decision or knockout, if the knockout comes, good. If not, a late decision. And he's very strong. He can take a punch. You know what I mean? He can take a punch very well. He's very strong, stronger than I thought he was gonna be. But hey, you know what? I just focused on my points. I knew he could take a punch, and we did what we did. We get a victory. That's what matters.
At age 36, you still have that dream of becoming a world champion. What makes you think you're capable of doing that?
Well, I've been fighting anybody, anywhere. I've been tested every damn fight, and I don't say no to nobody. I just call me, and I'm there.
Vasquez had a nice shot there at the end of round 10. Did he hurt you?
No, yeah, he hurt me a bit because it was a lot of blood in my eyes. I couldn't see. That was moving around because I couldn't really see, and I couldn't be able to get the inside, And he caught me with that because I don't know what it was, a right hand or a hook, but I didn't see a punch. I couldn't see almost anything. I was just moving by instinct.
There's always a lot at stake for you every time you step into the ring. The immigration status is at play. What do you think about when you step into this ring?
Well, you know what? I'm just motivated. I'm just happy to be here. I don't put pressure on my shoulders. It's just motivation, and coming to put a good show. You know what I mean? And that's what I do. I think when you have you feel pressure when you have doubts. That's what I would say. So I have no doubts on myself. I just believe in myself. I just keep fighting and come and enjoy the moment.
Ray Beltran, he comes away with a hard-fought win. Joe, send it back to you.
Okay, so he is likely going to be ordered to either... We don't know what's going on with Terry Flanagan versus Felix Verdejo for the WBO. But Ray Beltran is ranked technically #1 by the IBF. He could be ordered into an eliminator. With the WBA, he's ranked #6, and with the WBC, #2 behind Luke Campbell. So basically, all he has to do is win like one more fight, depending on who it is and who he can beat, and he's going to be in line for either a WBC, a IBF, or a WBO title shot. So he's now 34-7-1 with 21 KOs. He was the co-feature to Lomachenko versus Marriaga. He won a majority decision. And basically, it wasn't really, you can't say it wasn't really an entertaining fight. It wasn't a bad fight. But the fact that Bryan Vasquez, the fighter that he fought, who has fought fighters like Javier Fortuna in the past, Jose Felix, I remember that fight. Takashi Uchiyama, and who else? And basically, he's a 130-pound fighter fighting at 135, and Ray Beltran is somewhat of a big 135-pound fighter. However, would you like to see Ray Beltran versus Robert Easter? I would want to see that, even though you may think, well, there's bigger fights out there for Robert Easter. But looking at the landscape of the 135-pound division, well, you have Jorge Linares, who's the WBC, Mikey Garcia, who's also the WBC at 135. But Mikey Garcia may be staying at 140 or going up to 147. You have Luke Campbell versus Jorge Linares, which has happened in September for that WBC title. You have Jorge Linares, who's also the WBA champion, so there's 2 belts right there. You have Robert Easter, who's the IBF champion. Terry Flanagan, who's supposed to be injured, who's the WBO champion, who's supposed to be fighting Felix Verdejo. So realistically, it could very well be Robert Easter versus Ray Beltran next. And, you know, that's a fight that I think hardcore fans would be interested in because they do want to see Robert Easter step up the competition. And also Robert Easter's last couple of fights have been tough fights. And Ray Beltran would be another step up in a tough fight. Especially if Robert Easter is going to stay at 135 because let's face it, right now 140 is ruled by Terrence Crawford, and him versus Julius Ndongo is happening on August the 19th on ESPN, this same platform where Ray Beltran beat Vasquez. You know, and that's for the WBC, the WBO, the WBA, the IBF, the highly coveted and alluring and seductive IBO title, and also the Ring Magazine title. So the point I'm trying to make is 135 is where Ray Beltran is going to stay. And when it comes to Robert Easter, the politics are not really there anymore. It's all dependent on, will Bob Arum want to keep him on ESPN? Will they try to make Robert Easter come over to ESPN? We do know that Bob Arum and Al Heyman are working together. Al Heyman is the manager, the guy who pulls the strings for Robert Easter, even though he's under the About Billions, Adrian Broner, you know, banner. Bob Arum is Ray Beltran, and as I said, they're working together. But it's all about, will Ray Beltran go over to Showtime for a co-feature? You know, that could be a co-feature on Showtime. You know, that's bigger than a PBC on Bounce fight. You know, there's no more Spike TV as far as PBC. You know, even though I like PBC on Spike. So, you know, the options are there, but which way, you know, will he go? Or will Beltran, you know, go the route of holding on and padding his record of some sort? Not in a disrespectful way, but that's what I'm saying. You know, holding on to that #1 contender spot and waiting for, you know, one of these organizations to order him to be the mandatory. Because, like I said, once again, he's ranked #2 behind Luke Campbell, who's already fighting for the WBC and WBA title against Jorge Linares. He's ranked #2 by the WBC, you know, #6 by the WBA, #1 basically, even though he's listed as #2, but basically #1 by the IBF, and #2 by the WBO. So all he got to do is buy his time. He's in the mix. And he's fighting for a green card. So you just have to hope that, you know, like nothing gets in his way and he stays clean. I'm just saying. You know, there was an incident in the past. You know. Some type of incident in the past that I'm still trying to figure out what happened with that. What fight was that? What fight was that? It was in 2015. But anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live with the links to my social media or right down below in the description box. Also, they was talking about Lomachenko versus Beltran. Do you think you want to see that? I'm not really interested in that. And that's if Lomachenko was to move up. I'm not really interested in seeing that. You know, I'm not. Please subscribe.